Like what made you come to Canada and what did you do in Canada and what made you start learning French?
It's a completely new language, and I had zero clue what French looks like, what kind of language it is.
Instead, what made you choose no, French would be a better option? Like, was there any specific reason behind it? How was the approach? Like, did you feel like the approach changed at A2, or the way we study the language, was that changing, or how was that experience for you?
If I practice more, I put more time, I think I'll be able to do it. Yeah.
On your own as well, how did you use to practice the overall language and speaking mainly? And is there any message that you would like to give to the students who are just on the beginning phase of their French learning or who have not started learning French yet? Do you have any advice for them? Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this video. And today with me I have Muskan. How are you, Muskan? How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Vyom?
Doing good. Thank you so much. Today, I really want to, connect with you to share your experience of learning French because you have completed A1 and you are almost at completing A2 as well. And that's why I wanted to bring you to this platform to be able to share your experience with other learners as well who are just starting their French journey, so that you are able to share the insight on how beginning journey looks like and what are the expectations when we are learning French. But before then that, give us your introduction, like what made you come to Canada and what did you do in Canada and what made you start learning French?
Thank you, Vyom, for choosing me for sharing that experience. Uh, so my name is Muskan. I came to Canada in August 2022,
Mhm.
and I studied here in Georgian College in Barrie, and I took Office Administration and Health Services course. And currently, I'm working in Aurelia Soldiers Hospital as a full time. What made me choose to start learning French was so in April, it was my last semester, and I knew that I had to apply for my work permit like within like 2 to 3 weeks. So I went to consultant and I consulted about the various different options about getting PR. But with so many rules changing, they suggested my like various options like move to Nova Scotia or move change province or LMI and different options.
Mm.
I personally had like zero clue what other options meant. So when they told me the new guideline, like the French one, so it's like the most easiest way and the score is less and everything. So then I chose like, oh, okay, I need to learn French, but I wasn't sure that it's a completely new language and I had zero clue what French looks like, what kind of language it is. So then I decided, okay, I have to do French, but from where, how? So I already knew you because you were here in Barrie, you studied in Georgian College, and my coworkers and everyone told me learn French from Vyom. So then I asked you, I booked a meeting with you, and then I told you like, okay, I need to complete my French exam by next year in 12 months. So you gave me like the entire structure. So then I started learning French around April when I just graduated.
Okay, okay, sounds good. The immigration consultant was telling you about the other options as well with French.
Yes.
Like, what did you think? Oh, I should move province, or I should do this, or I should do that. Instead, what made you choose no, French would be a better option? Like, was there any specific reason behind it?
I didn't want to leave my field job. Like it's like my dream job to work in a hospital, and I finally got that. So I didn't want to leave that. Secondly, like I chose French. Like okay, I know it's a difficult, but at least I'll learn a new skill. It will give me new opportunities and make stand out my resume too. So that's the reason I chose French. I didn't want to go towards other options because I had zero clue what that means like LMIA, ONI. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that means. I was like, okay. So French is like the easiest way, but difficult too, but that's okay. I'll do that. I'll learn new skills. So yeah, that the main reason was not to leave my job and also to learn a new skill.
Yeah, no, that's a great decision because LMIA, PNP, it's easy to say,
Yeah.
but the process in itself is very difficult. And now,
Mhm.
even if you see the recent government updates, even LMIA, like those are not
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
50 points anymore for LMIA. So
I
good,
know they moved
yeah,
it.
good
Yeah.
thing that you did not decide to do that rather than doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, no, sounds good. And when you started, okay, so before starting with Frenchify, because you started A1 level, right from the beginning with Frenchify, did you ever planned on studying by yourself as well? Did you do any self study as well, or were you just like, okay, let's just go with the Frenchify program?
I didn't want to waste my time, so I just directly approached towards a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I tried looking at other like YouTube sources, but they were like so confusing. So I'm
Okay.
like, that's okay. I don't want to waste my time. Now I like know I what I need to do, so I should better invest my time in a good way, like finding a mentor.
And when you started with the A1 program, how was your, how was your experience, or how was your mentality diving into it? Okay, now this is, because you have the whole structure in front of you. Now you,
Mhm.
okay, this is what I should study. And also in the live sessions, how was that overall experience with the A1 program?
So when I started A1, I was like very motivated. Okay, I'll do it in like 2 months, or I will do it. I'll study every day. But
Hmm.
the hardest part for me was to like sit every day and like study constantly for 2, 3 hours. Because I work like 9 to 5 and I reach home by 6. So there is not like enough window for me to study. So when I started, I honestly cried like 2, 3 times that I can't do French. I can't do French. I need to choose other option. But once you like study, you like to you learn more through books, through videos. It's honestly it's not that hard. The hard part is to sit down and study and focus. That's the one thing I would say. I didn't put like much time on A1 and I wasted like so much time thinking it's difficult. I don't want to study. But once you do it, like it's not that difficult. Like if you have like proper structure and approach.
Correct. And see, honestly, the same thing. All the students, those who have cleared the exam right now, they also mentioned the same thing that French is not difficult. The difficult part is just
Yeah.
to study on regular basis. Like if our goal is to learn French in 10 to 12 months, French can still happen. But you really have to sit on regular basis to study. Despite of your work, you have to build a discipline. So that is something
Yes.
which takes a little bit more time, especially when you are just doing it by yourself. Like
Yeah.
you made this good decision that you, yes, started with Frenchify programs, but for someone who's doing a self study, it's even difficult because there is no accountability, no live
Yes.
sessions where you can share your progress and all your
Hmm.
problems that you're facing in the language. So no, good to see that you were able to go through that phase in a positive way. And talking about the structure of the program as well, when you started at A1, there was a grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, speaking, writing topics laid out. Were they helpful for you? Like, how did you feel going through them?
Yes, I personally feel that your program, like the Frenchify program structure, it's like very smooth and understandable. Like after every lecture, you provide the exercises and then vocab related to according to the level wise, like unit 0, 1, then vocabulary and everything. So I personally find it easy. It makes it easier to revise that concept side by side and like put that into the practical experience.
Mhm.
And like when I started learning French, I don't think I have searched any other video on YouTube, like how to do this or that. I'm just following like your structure because it's like pretty simple and easy to understand. I don't think it's that difficult. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Good to know that as
Yeah.
well. And once you move from A1 to A2, we did a test and actually you performed really well in the A1 test as well. Once you moved on to A2, how was the approach? Like, did you feel like the approach changed at A2, or the way we study the language, was that changing, or how was that experience for you?
So when I began A2, I was like more interested into the language. I was actually enjoying it. I was like, okay, yes, now I can do it. I have learned the concepts because as soon as you do A1, you do apply that in A2. So you can revise your concepts from A1 as well. So it wasn't that difficult on A2. It was like smooth. Like if something was difficult, then we definitely asked you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't that difficult, like moving from A1 to A2. Yeah.
Sounds good. And now, the level of French that you have learned, or all the things that you are able to understand in French, which you were not able to do like three,
Yeah.
4 months ago. What do you feel about them now? Like, does that bring a proud moment in your mind? Like, what happens usually? What,
It does,
yeah,
yeah. So when I started like A1, so like whatever words we know, like if we see on like you know how in the grocery stores is everything in the French and then in English.
yeah.
So like first we try to look at the French side. So when at A1 when I started, I wasn't able to like understand anything. But in like A2 when I learned like more vocab and everything, then I was like able to understand. It really feels like proud. Oh, I'm able to understand French. Or even sometimes if I hear like patients or anyone at the work like speaking French, so I'm like able to understand like little bit. like the words I know or the vocab or everything I know. So I do feel like proud. Okay, I learned something and like,
No, that's good.
yeah,
Talking, one main thing I want to talk about is speaking, your speaking specifically, because I see that you have really, worked well on your speaking. You have good pronunciations as well. Because like at A2 level, when we do those monologue,
yeah.
monologue activities, I right from the beginning when you started sending those monologue activities, like I really feel that you have a good level of pronunciation as well, and also you have a good flow in terms of speaking. So how did that build up? How did you practice your overall speaking with the program as well, but on your own as well? How did you used to practice the overall language and speaking mainly?
Usually, the one in the program structure, you provide the speaking topics and writing and reading topics. I usually read them out loud or even like the online sources like from Reverso or Google Translator. When you hear the pronunciation, I try to speak them like 4 or 5 times or memorize them like the common topics which I know, like I can use them on my daily life. So I try to memorize only like those words. So it really helps.
Okay, no, that's good, and it's very this is a very useful exercise because the more you read things out loudly, the more your tongue becomes easy into pronouncing that thing. For example, I still remember, when I used to speak French, when I was trying speaking French, what used to happen is I know what are the sentences that I want to say.
Yeah.
It's sometimes just a tongue gets twisted,
Yeah.
while trying French. Once I started reading loudly, my tongue got more comfortable into just being able to speak with more ease. So I think that is something that you build up through more reading, like loud reading. So I think that's a very good exercise to do for anyone who wants to work on their accent. At this point, Muskan, what do you feel like? What do you feel about TEF Canada? Do you think now it's achievable? Having done all this progress now, do you think it's achievable anytime soon?
Yes, I do plan on like giving my exam next year around April, May. So I do believe like I can do it. Like if I practice more, I put more time, I think I'll be able to do it. Yeah.
Sure. And what do you do? What do you do on the days when you don't feel like studying? Because you mentioned in the beginning as well, when you started A1, you thought that it's not going to happen, and you didn't
Yeah.
have motivation. But what do you do in order to keep on improving?
Um, I like watch like the videos, like motivating videos, the one you made with like so many students, how they cleared their exam and how they are studying. I just think like, okay, I need to get my PR. That's like the ultimate goal. I need to work hard towards it. So it just keeps me going. Like I need to make my parents proud. I need to make you proud. So
No, definitely. And is there any message that you would like to give to the students who are just on the beginning phase of their French learning or who have not started learning French yet? Do you have any advice for them?
for those who have like started learning French with you or even on their own, I think that's like the great option. It opens like so many opportunities for you in the future. And don't get demotivated if you're not able to understand anything. It will eventually come when you like put more time and efforts. Just the only regret I have is not putting so much time in studying the concepts and wasting my time. So I would say that if they can put like more time and instead of saying I can't do this. It's so difficult. But the ultimate goal should be like, okay, I can do it. At the end of the day, it would be fine. And who haven't started learning French, I would say, like, if they're learning for their PR, I think it's pretty evident that so many rules are changed and only French is like the only way to get PR. So they shouldn't waste their time and they should, like, I think, invest in the mentor because they know that they're going to learn French. So instead of like wasting time from like outside sources, they should invest like time in a mentor and do that because you get like proper structure, guideline, and even their experience, like how they like cleared their exam.
No, very valuable advice because you are someone who is in the shoes of being
Yeah.
a French learner and you know how the process feels like. And thank you so much, Muskan, for sharing your valuable insights. It was
Yeah.
a great session. Would you have anything to say at the end before we see our audience off?
I would definitely recommend Friendshipify with Vyom because I feel like your structure is like amazing for the course.
Mhm.
And it definitely helped me like easily like through A1, A2, and now I'm ready to go to B1 anytime soon in like January maybe. So I just feel like, yeah, it's not that difficult. Like put time, put efforts, it will show it results later. So it's not that hard.
Sure. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much. Thank you, Muskan. Thank you for joining, and thank you everyone else for watching this video. Have a good one, everyone.